Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, we label our experience right away, don't we? Yes, we do. When we are experiencing something, we label the experience. After the experience, or while we having the experience, the labeling comes in right away. So, what's the reason behind labeling things? For sure, it's our habits, it's our conditioning. But still, why? Why this conditioning is there in the first place? And when we are experiencing and when we label them in categories, or there's a dual perspective, likes and dislikes, isn't it? Yes or no. There's a preference from the experience when we label them. Today, try, observing yourself. When you wake up in the morning, can you just witness, be the observer of your surrounding and not label them? I know it's going to be hard. Our life is moving with a preference. We have preference in our lives. And when we see something not aligned with our preference, we start to judge, we start to say things, we label our experience. But can you step back from labeling your experience and just allow your observer side to come in? You can practice this at home. When you leave the home for work, you're experiencing more stuff before you get to the work, isn't it? So whatever you experience from home and towards your work, in between, can you just be the observer? There are many things you will see. There are many things that you like that aligns with your preference. And there are many things you will see that will come as a peak experience. And there are experiences that you don't like. And I invite you to just watch your experience, be the observer of the experience, and also be the observer of yourself. So you are catching yourself, catching your mind, how the mind starts to label, how the mind starts to categorize. So you invite yourself to be the observer throughout the day. And when the day is over, before you go to bed, or during the day, before the bed is good because you are already ready to settle and relax and sleep. Just before the bed, you ask yourself this question: why do I label my experience? Why do I label and put them in the categories? Or why do I have this preference of labeling my experience? Why? some of the experience, or most of the experience, they are not even important to you. They're not important in your life to make your life peaceful, to make yourself happy, to grow as an individual. Those experiences that you have gone through is not even necessary. But you categorize them, you judge them, you give them names. Why? The reason I'm asking you to question yourself, why do you label your experience and put them in the category of likes and dislike, is because spiritual enlightenment or awakening is about dissolving the mind. To dissolve the mind, we have to understand the mind. So, when you understand the mind, then letting go of the mind is much easier. Resisting the mind, thinking resisting or pushing away the mind is the way to dissolve, is actually allow the mind to get stronger and stronger. And you know that already. How many times you have tried to push the negative mind away with the positive mind. But is it working to dissolve the mind? The answer is definite no. It's not working. Resisting the mind, controlling the mind, or running away from the mind, the negative mind, doesn't work. And we are the first-hand experience of that practice. So the only way to dissolve the mind that is creating so much conflict, so much struggle, so much fear in life, is by understanding the mind. So thoroughness is a must. Thoroughness of the mind is a must to let go of the mind. And asking ourselves, why do we label our experience, is to understand the mind. To understand our preference. Our preference is the mind. Our preference is the ingrained belief, which is the mind. And this categorizing our experience, holding certain preference, is actually coming from the false foundation. And to see the false foundation, inquiry is the way to get there. Asking ourselves a question is to understand the mind. Understanding the mind is the way to truly, let go of the mind. There are definitely few things we have to do, but the understanding the mind with the inquiry creates the good foundation. The inquiry will make us or help us let go of the unnecessary perception in us. That will help us to keep things simple in the mind, as well as keep things simple in the relative world as well. From there, we can already, invite that sense of ease in us. When there's too much things happening, we are lost pretty much. When there are simple things, we can organize ourselves better. So simplicity is good. The simplicity is coming from the inquiry practice. Or inquiry practice will help you to provide simplicity in life. So, but we're not looking simplicity. We are trying to figure out the truth of who we are. To figure out the truth of who we are, self-inquiry is the must. Okay, this process is about understanding the mind thoroughly. Self-inquiry is a backward movement on the mind to figure out the root cause of the surface fluctuation, surface perception and action. Once you figure out the root, then we have to do the inquiry on the root as well in the backward movement, backward movement until there's no more root is left. And when we go to the no root, when we go to no mind, and when we ask ourselves, who am I? And that's where there is a chance of a tremendous shift. That shift is dissolving the ego, dissolving the mind. The dissolution happens from the final inquiry of who am I. Anyway, but before we get there to that, the final surrender or true surrender, that starts with a simple inquiry. And today we are looking into why we label our experience. Why? So you ask yourself that question. Definitely you are labeling your experience from morning to evening. You will say, that's beautiful, that's ugly, that's nice, that's not nice, I like that, I don't like that. You know, that duality is present throughout the day. You are speaking, you're verbally speaking, or you're internally speaking on your experience. So ask yourself, why? Why do I label my experience? There's a saying in the spiritual world, when you label your experience, it will take you out of the moment. When you're experiencing without labeling your experience, you are an observer of your life. You're observing the world and you're observing yourself. You're allowing your true nature to observe. But when you narrate your experience, you're allowing the ego to come in and narrate on your experience. Now, the moment, the pure moment is gone when the mind starts to narrate. We forget to witness when we start to narrate, isn't it? That is true. When you start to narrate on what you see, now you're creating a story in your head. You're verbalizing towards the world. And the moment is gone. The true nature is gone. Gone means it's not there as an observer. And then the narration takes over and we forget to be who we are as an observer. So again, the question is, why do we label our experience? What's the reason to label our experience? Why can't we just be the observer? Why? Simply ask why, and this why is going to help you to trace your mind backward, and figuring out who you are is about tracing the mind. Figuring out the plain sight truth or enlightenment or spiritual enlightenment, spiritual awakening is about tracing the mind to get to the no mind. And no mind is true freedom. Who you are is no mind. You are an observer. Observer is not the mind. So to go to no mind, tracing back the mind backward until no mind is left is the journey that we have to take. Okay? Again, why do we label our experience? Ask and trace, see how far you can go back. Anyway, that's all for today. Hope this video makes sense to you. Yeah, and please subscribe to this channel, support this channel. That would be great. Yeah, take care for now. See you in the next video. Bye.